Hello, let's solve a sandwich Sudoku from LogicWiz. So we have normal Sudoku rules. That means in each row, each column, and each 3 by 3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 9 exactly once each. We also have these clues outside the grid. What these are is the sum of the digits between the 1 and 9 in that row or column. So for example, if I had a 1 here and a 9 here, we're ignoring conflicts here, we're just demonstrating rules. If this was a 1 and this was a 9, then the digits in between the 1 and 9 here would need to add to 9. And same for rows. If, say, the 1 was here and the 9 was here, then the digits in between would add to 22. And that's it. Those are our rules. I'm going to go back and come back in to reset my timer. All right. And this video is sponsored by LogicWiz. There's a link in the description if you want to try it yourself. And I'm going to get started. All right, so this 30, so if you think about it, and this little helper here does tell you that too. But let's think about what is the maximum that a sandwich can add to. Well, if I had, say, a 1 here and a 9 here on complete opposite ends of my column, then the digits in between, what do they add to? Well, we know that 1 through 9, it's a triangle number. 1 through 9 adds to 45. If you didn't know that, that's a very good thing to remember. Very useful for any sum constraint. So 1 to 9 adds to 45. But the 1 and the 9 are never included in our sum. So the maximum we could add to is 45 minus 10, which is 35. And so this is exactly what's happening here, is that the ends of this has to be our 1, 9, is I guess what I'm saying. So we're going to center mark 1, 9 here, because that's the only way we're going to get our sum to be 35. Now, the only way to get a sum to be 0 is to put 1, 9 next to each other. So, oops. So we're going to put 1, 9 next to each other right there. Now, this is saying we're going to sum to 11 between the 1, 9s in this column, but we have the start already. And so how many digits do we need minimum to add to 11? Well, we need 2 digits minimum. Now, we can't use 1 and 9, but we could use, say, 3 plus 8, for example, or 4 plus 5, whatever. Now, can we use 3 digits to add to 11? Well, that's not even a question we should be asking because we can't put a 1, 9 here. So if we didn't use 2 digits, we'd have to use 4 digits minimum. And we're including a 5 there. And so can we get 3 digits to add to 11 minus 5, which is 6? Normally, yes, 1, 2, 3, but we can't use the 1 in our sum. 1 and 9 are never part of the sum. So it actually is not possible to do 4 with the 5 included. In fact, it's not possible to do 4 at all, because the only way to add to 11 and 4 is 1, 2, 3, 5. And so, as a result, this has to be our 1, 9 to avoid those issues we talked about. And this 1 looks in, and that gives us the 9 and the 1 and the 9 and the 1. All right. And so now these two add to 11, but we don't really know how. There's a lot of ways it could do that. So we're not going to bother penciling that yet. All right. Well, we know the 5's not involved. So actually, let's think about it. We can't do 2, 9. We could do 3, 8. So that could be 3, 8. And that's not the 3, so that's not the 8. And then we could do 4, 7. Did I say 4, 5? That's 9. But anyway, I didn't use that logic. Anyway, we could do 4, 7, but that's not the 4. So this would be a 7, and this would be a 4. Oops. I keep holding down the wrong modifier key. I'm getting used to it. 4, 7, and then we can't use the 5, so we're not doing 5, 6. I think I meant to say 5, 6, not 4, 5. All right. So actually, that is more limited than I thought. Now, I'm curious about this 22 here, because that's pretty big, and 1 and 9 can't go in any of these cells. So what's the minimum number of cells we need to add to 22? Well, if we do 8 plus 7, that's 15, and if we add 6 to that, that's 21. So actually, if we click here, it'll tell us, but we can't do it in 3, right? We have to do it in 4 or 5 cells. And so we're going to have to do it in 4, right? But it's nice to be able to do the mental arithmetic here, right? And so all we had to do was 8, 7, 6. And actually, a nice little trick for doing something like 8, 7, 6 is if it's 3 consecutive digits, it's just the middle 1 times 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. So we know we can't do it in 3. And 4 is the maximum we could do it in because we can't put 1, 9s over here. So this is what we're going to have to do. Let's put the 1, 9 exactly like that. Now we know it includes the 5. So It's not going to be this one. It's not these two. Yeah, so it looks like there's plenty of options there. So I'm not worried about it. The other way to think about this is the outies. So instead of looking at a bunch of combinations here, one thing to think about is what would these three add to? Because we know that this adds to 10, and we know that these add to 22. So we know the total sum of this. This is 32. And we know that the total sum of the row is 45. So if we do 45 minus 32, that should be 13. And so it's 13 and 3, which, yeah, is pretty open. All right. So we got a 1, 9 here and a 1, 9 here. This 0 and this, so we have a 0 here as well. All right, so this 0 is going to tell us, oh yeah, and this one's not 1, 9. That's even better. And so this 0 tells us that this is our 1, 9. And so now 1, 9's here, 1, 9's here, and we need 1 and 9 here. So this is the 1, because these two 1s look in. And then the 9 has to be next to it because of the 0 up here. So the 9's right there. All right, between this 1 and 9, we need a 2. I just noticed that, so that was a gimme right from the start. We have a 0 here, and the 1 can't go there, so 1 goes there. That's another gimme from the start. We need 17, and we know the 1 is here. 9 can't go here or here, even if we wanted it to. 9 can't go here. And 9 couldn't go here. All right, so the 9 in this column is just placed, which is even easier. Yeah, the 9 in the column is just placed. That gives us the 1 and the 9 and the 1. And so now we know that we need 17. Let's think about the outies, because there's only 3 cells in the outies. And so we need to subtract 45 minus 27. So 45 minus 20 is 25, minus another 7 is going to be 20 minus 2, which is 18. So we need these 3 to add to 18, but we already have 5. And so we need these to add to 13 in 2 without using 1, 9. So we're not 4, 9, and we're not 5, 8. So we have to be 6, 7. All right, so that is our, that is our 6, 7, and that means that these 3 are 2, 4, 8. And we can double check our math here. Oops. All right, 2, 4, and 8. This one's not 8. This one's not 8. So we can double check our math, right? 2, 3, 4. Use our little trick. That adds to 9. And then plus another 8. That does add to 17. All right. So what did we learn from this? We got 6, 7 here and here. This is only 2, 4. Not sure. Now we have this one here. Can we place more 9s? I guess that's my question. Can we place more 1s or 9s? Yes, we can place this 9, which the 6 goes in between. So that's our 7. That's our 6. And then how many 9s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we need the final 9 here. It's right here. Okay. Now, what about 1s? Can we place our 1s? Well, first of all, I placed this 9. This needs to add to 9, so this is our 5. What about 1s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can place the 1 in this box right here. And I think that finishes the 1s. Okay. So this column, we add to 17 between the 1 and the 9. The 6 brings us down to 11. So we need 11 and 2 without the 8 or the 9 or the 6. So I think we got to be 4, 7. That sounds right to me. Because we are not, to add to 11, we're not 2, 9, we're not 3, 8, and we're not 5, 6. Okay. That makes this a triple. So we need a 2, we need a 3, and we need a 5, it looks like. That's not 3, and that's not 5. 2, 3, 5, triple tells us that's 4. Remember, these needed to add to 11, so that's a 4, 7 also. And then what are these 2 digits? 1, 2, 3, we need a 6 and an 8. All right, so that is 6, 8. What are these 4 digits? Let's see. We need a, I should probably just go through all the sums, huh? Well, I'm already here. I need a 2, 3, 4, 7. So this is not 3 or 4. So this is a 2, 7. Oh yeah, it's not 2 either. So that's just a 7. And so I can just fill 2, 3, 4 here. That's not a 4. Oh yeah, and what's this column? We need 2, 3, and something else. 2, 3, 8. 2, 3, 8. That is not a 3. Okay. Let me look, make sure I have all my sums between the ones and nines. So we'll do the columns first. We're given the sum of every single one. So what about this one? Oh, this one's 0, this one's 0. Okay, how about rows? We have the 0. The 22 we did through the outies, I think. So let's just double check how our outies are doing here. So 45 minus 32 is 13. This is already 4, so we need to get to 9. 3, 6 is the only way to get to 9 here. Perfect. Okay. So that's our 8. That is not a 3. We can probably follow up on this a little bit, but this is 2, 5, 6. It's not the 2. How about these 3 digits? We need a 2, 4, 8. Bottom one's not 4. Okay. Oh, not 4, sorry. 2, 7, 8. Okay. What else we got going on here? 2, 7, 8 here as well. Okay, that one's not 2. Okay. I feel like I just make sure all my sums are taken care of. So we know this adds to 32. Well, this adds to 22 here. We already have 5 and 8. So, 8 plus 5 is 13. So we're going to need 9 more. So we're either 2 plus 7, or we're 4 plus 5, but we're not 4 plus 5. So that's a 2 and that's a 7. These two are not 2s. This one's not a 2. Okay, these aren't 7, so that places the 7 here. What's going on here? We need a 4, 6, 8. The 6 can't go here, so that's our 6. This can't be 4, so that's an 8, and that's a 4, and that's an 8. That gives us the 2 here, and the 3 and the 8. Gives us the 2 and the 4 here. Okay, so these 2 digits are 3 and 5. So this is our 5, this is our 3. We have the 3 here. I think we're just finishing up now. Oh, these 2 add to 12. I wonder if that's important. Oh, how about the 6 here? I didn't finish going through the rows. That's 5. That gives us the 2 and the 5 here. That gives us our 6 here. Okay, this is 4 or 7. Actually, not resolved. How are we going to add to 12? So 4, 8. No, there's an 8 in the row. 5, 7 then. So that's 5, that's 7. That gives us the 4 and the 7 and the 4 here. It gives us the 8 here. That gives us the 2 and the 8, 2 and the 8. We get our 7. What do I need here? A 4? Okay, so I have a 2. Oops, did I do that wrong? Right, yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said that had to be 2. We need a 2 and a 6 here. That's our 2, that's our 6. And then this is the 2. And then down here, I need a 3, 5, 8. So that's our 3. This is 5, 8. Okay, 5, 8. And then this digit is an 8. Gives us the 5 and the 8. What are these 2? I need a 5 and a 7. So that's 7, that's 5. I need a 3 and a 6 here. That's 3, that's 6. And then these 3 digits, I need a 2, 3, and a 4. So the 2 goes here, the 3 goes here, and the 4 goes here. All right, cool. Well, that was a nice sandwich puzzle. We got to think about how to do mental math with sums. Really good to practice that for these variants. And how'd you do?